Okay, and we are together. If you notice, my background is very different. I'm not back at my office. We are in a hotel. We just did a training for the last few days, and then I'm headed back. I'm going to drive about 400 and I think 70 or 80 kilometers back once we're done here. And let's see. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone here. I will mention that we are recording this session. Yes, we are. We are recording this session, and I will get this recording sent out to you in the next 24 hours. So, I talk about the lighting and the audio. So this is my first setup away from the office, and so lighting, please excuse me. Audio, we tested a couple things, so we're doing the best we can on this. All right. So let me go ahead and get the slides up. Okay, we're gonna be talking about digital marketing today. My experience with digital marketing actually started in 2003. Started in 2003 when Facebook, MySpace, all that came out. And one of the things that we did was we always had to generate our leads by cold calls, direct meetings, and then I saw this, and then I heard that, hey, maybe you can get customers out of Facebook and other things, right? So we said, okay, we'll give it a try. I found every course that I could back in 2003 to guide me along to do this, and we managed to do a few things. So from 2003 to 2004, 2005, 6, around there, we were doing our own marketing online on social media to market my company services. And so we had clients that said, hey, you're doing this is how you found me. Can you do that for us? So we started a new division right about 2007, 2008, where we did these services only for our existing clients. And then 2009, we were experiencing that, hey, our clients are getting results. So we decided to open it up to non-existing clients. All right. And so we've been marketing online as a service since about 2008, 2009, and for ourselves since 2003. So that would be what, about 17, 18 years. And of course, it's evolved greatly, but the core foundations are very similar to 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, why do we want to market online? So we want to market online to be able to attract leads and clients. And if you do it right, you can rapidly position yourself as the expert in any niche or any industry. And when you position yourself, what that does is it brings clients to you and gets them to say yes a little bit easier. Everybody should have a Facebook page, Facebook profile, Instagram, LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, it wasn't easy to get clients on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn, if I recall right, since 2008, 2009. And 2008, 2009, I thought it was like social media for how to get a job, right? And so we didn't do anything. And then about 2 years to 3 years ago, I said, you know what? Just like how I did with Facebook and the rest of the social media platforms, I said, you know what? Let's give this a try, because it seems a little bit more professional than Facebook or whatnot, right? And so from 2008 to about 2017, 2018, I only had 5 connections on LinkedIn in almost 10 years, 5 connections. So 2017, 2018, I said to myself, I made a decision and I said, I'm going to try and see if this works. So I consistently worked at it, consistently put out content, consistently expanded my network. In the space of 2 to 2.5 years, I've grown from five in my network to about 13,000, plus minus 13,000. Okay. And so once we started having some interactions, actually it was daily interactions, daily inquiries. One of the things that I'm always afraid of is when we get messages on Facebook and LinkedIn. Is like we get weird messages, right? It's like, oh, you know what, can I be your friend? But I got a message from somebody on LinkedIn, and all it said was, I want to have coffee with you. That was the message that I got from this person. Then I looked at it, the picture looked kind of weird, right? And I said, I'm not going to answer this because I don't feel comfortable. So 2 days later, this same person sent me another message again. And it was, hey, Chris, I want to have coffee with you. And then I got more scared, right? Because it's like, what is this? And then, so I ignored it. And then a day or so later, he sent another message again and said, hey, Chris, I really would like to talk to you. I want to have coffee with you. And then the message started sounding a little bit better. And so I asked my business development manager to give him a call, because he put his phone number, give him a call, and to see what was up. And so what happened was, they both spoke, and they set an appointment for me the very next day to have coffee with this guy. So we met at the cafe at where his office was, at the lobby. There was a cafe there. So we had coffee. We had a couple bagels, and the whole conversation took about 30, 40 minutes, plus minus about 45 minutes, right? And so at the end of that conversation, it was a very interesting conversation because I didn't have to pitch and sell this person. And what happened after about 40 minutes was, we went upstairs to his office, to the 18th floor. We went up to his office. I sat, he had a big office, about 60 plus staff in the office. And he wrote me a check for 40,000. Okay. And he wrote me the check for 40,000 to implement what we had talked about at the cafe downstairs. So when you're able to position yourself as an expert, and of course you have to back it up, right? You have to put in value. You have to give exceptional service. So I pushed this guy away 3 times. But he still came back and said, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you. All right. So I'm in a different part of Malaysia right now. I'm about 480 kilometers. We drove here, and I'm going to drive back later. But we're about 480 kilometers away from my office. And I received a couple messages, while I was here. All right. It said, hey, we got a client that wants to have you. They want to have the training actually today. On the 18th. And I said, no, I'm booked up. I cannot do the training. And it's actually online training, right? And so I replied to them and said, I cannot do the training on the 18th. Maybe you should find somebody else if you want to do it on the 18th. And their answer was, no. We'll suit your schedule and we'll wait for you. Just tell us a new date that you're available and we'll do it on that day. So I got about 35, 40 people waiting for me to have a chat with them and train them in that subject matter. And they're willing to wait for me because I've been able to position myself as, I'm the guy that you need for this particular topic. That kind of makes sense, right? Raise your hand if it makes sense. Right? Okay, awesome. So what is digital marketing? Digital marketing, the only difference between traditional marketing and digital marketing is, our times, right? The only difference is the word digital or traditional, or the without digital, without online. Now, here's the thing: the marketing part is the same. The digital part is simply the medium and the process. Okay, so what are the tools of or what are the platforms? For us, we use a couple more than what you see on your screen, but definitely you want to use these. Now, each one of these is a little bit unique. Each one of these have a different way of presenting yourself, different way of getting leads and clients. But these are the main four, that you should be focusing on. Okay, so who can use this? Who can use these platforms? Business owners, professionals that sell products and services, and you sell to B2B and B2C. Of course, there's another category that is called B2G, business to government. Okay, a lot of people say, oh, B2B, business to business, is different. B2G is different because it's like companies. So my answer to that is, we sell to my company. We sell to B2B and B2C. Sometimes the same products and services. Okay. One of the things you have to remember is that you're not selling to a company, you're selling to a person in the company. And so we're always selling to people. Okay. That's the one thing that you have to remember, whether it's B2B, B2C, or B2G. Now, we'll focus mainly on Facebook. The reason for that is because we spend most of our time on Facebook. Facebook, people think they're a social media agency or a platform. They're not. They're actually an advertising and marketing platform, because they've collected information about us that we don't even realize, right? And I'm not saying they sell this information, but they make this information available to advertisers. So let's say you want to find a 20 to 25-year-old single professional living in a city that has these particular interests. You can find them on Facebook, and you can send marketing to them. You can put your ad in front of them. It's very cost efficient. Most of our campaigns, we tend to spend anywhere from $1 to $5 per day. And rather than a lot of businesses, a lot of other trainers, right? They say, oh, spend 50 or $100, and then whack it out in a short period of time. What we do is I like to go for consistency over time. So we have campaigns running that are $1, $2, $3 a day, and that gives us a flow of leads rather than an avalanche all at one shot. All right, so we can maximize our time. Now, with Facebook, when we start a new product or a new service, sometimes we have to do a lot of market research. Then we have to test. We have to create the prototype, and then you test it out on the market, right? Now with Facebook, what I do, and what I suggest you do, if you have a new product or new service, or you're trying to go into a new market with your existing product or service, you can do a test on Facebook, a Facebook ad, and see what kind of response you get. Then from that response, you can decide, okay, am I going to penetrate or am I going to hold back? The results are extremely measurable. Okay, spend this much, you either get 0 and then you stop, or you spend this much and you get an ROI of 2 times or 3 times or 10 times, whatever the ROI is, but you can measure it. It's very, very measurable. And if you do it right, but I'm telling you, it's very hard to do right. It's very hard. It's very easy to put an ad on Facebook, but it's harder to put an ad on Facebook and get results. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the social media process flow, the strategy, the social and digital funnel, digital funnel, and then how we're going to create content. Because one of the biggest problems that we have is, how do we create content, right? So I've been creating content for at least the last 17 years, specifically for social media. Now there's 6 pillars, uh, in your digital funnel. I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to mention each one right now. You can see that on your screen. And as a reminder, we are recording this session. So within 24 hours, we're going to send you the recording of the session on a private YouTube link, maybe initially, so you can fast forward and rewind on, listen to the parts again, or skip forward, whatever the case is. So we want to make it easy for you, okay? Let's see here. Okay, so this is what the basic funnel should kind of look like. If you look on the left side of your screen, you have the intake from all the streams coming in, whether it's cold calling or, Facebook or, Instagram or LinkedIn. You do events or you get referrals, you put them into the funnel. Your funnel is what is designed to do is it's designed to classify your prospects into different categories. Okay, the categories are they going to buy now, right? Are they going to buy tomorrow? Are they going to buy next week? Are they going to buy next month or next year? If your cycle is a little bit longer. The funnel is designed to get people into the funnel, and then you classify them into different categories. And then the actions that you take depend on their classification. So if someone indicates they're ready to buy now, the action on that should be immediate, okay? If it's not immediate, if they're not going to buy right now, maybe in 3 weeks or 3 months, then you have to have a follow-up system to keep in touch with them. Now, all your clients should be kept in touch by you as well. And you need to do it by either a phone call or an automated email, once or twice a month, to keep in contact with them. So regarding your product, okay, regarding your product, you have to know a few things. You got to know exactly what your product is. And let's say you sell, for example, insurance. You cannot say, oh, my product is insurance. My product is actually something that solves a problem. Then you have to decide who is it for. And this one, the next one, features and benefits. A lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and sales professionals, they either mix up the two or they don't realize what a benefit is. I'll give you an example. Let's say this phone, okay? This phone is, I like this phone. I've used it for about 5 years, maybe 5 years, okay? So the feature on this is, let's say the screen is, I don't know exactly, but I'll give you an example. Let's say the screen is 6 inches, okay? I've got big hands, all right? I don't like small phones. So a feature is this phone is, let's just call it 6 inches. The size of the screen is 6 inches, right? So that's the feature. The benefit is the screen is bigger. I can hold it in my hand, and I can look at my phone without really squinting at it because the screen is bigger. So that's the benefit. So a feature is what the product is or what the product has, and the benefit is what benefit does the customer get out of it, right? A simple acronym is WIIFM. WIIFM. It's not a radio station. It's what's in it for me. You have to think of your customer, and when you're selling to them, you don't say, "Oh, this is a good phone. It's 6 inches. The battery lasts 8 hours." Da da da. What you're doing is you're listing features. People get bored when they listen to features. Okay. This phone, example, yeah, this phone has a 10-hour battery. That's a feature. So what's the benefit to me? The benefit to me is that I can use the phone all day long, and I don't have to worry about low bat. Make sense? Raise your hand if it makes sense. Awesome. Then you have to answer this question. So is this the only phone on the market? It's not, right? You have competitors. Whatever you are selling, whatever you are selling, you have competitors. Okay? So you need to answer this question. Why should somebody buy from you? What is the exceptional thing that you have that somebody should buy from you, whatever your product or service is? So you have to answer that question. Now, we go into the landing page. The purpose of a landing page is simply to collect the name, the email, the phone number, because not everybody buys right this second, right? And even if somebody says they look at, let's say they look at your ad, they look at your social media posts, and they say, hey, Donna has this great offer. Okay? They say, hey, Donna has this great offer. But I'm busy right now. I will buy from Donna tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, what happens? They forgot. Because our attention span is so short nowadays. Our memory is short nowadays. So you listening to me have had this experience where you wanted to buy something, whether it's at the shop or online, and then you said, I'm going to buy this, and then for some reason or another, you don't buy it right at that moment, and you say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and you forgot. You've experienced that. If you've experienced it, your prospects are experiencing it right now. Okay, so you must have a landing page. The purpose of a landing page is to collect information, name, email, phone number. That is its only purpose. Now, you can sell on a landing page, and that's what we call the call to action. Now, the call to action doesn't mean buy now, doesn't mean only spending money. The call to action might also be you're telling them what is the next step to take. You can have call to actions at every step of your sales process. The importance of a call to action is to get them to the next step. That's it. You know, when we're in business, we always think I got to get a prospect, then I got to get them to buy. Yes, you have that process. But if you break that process down into steps, you have trust, nurturing relationship, giving information, educating them. So that whole process has many steps. If you think of it this way, if you think of it as your job over here is to get them to the next step. Your job over here is to get them to the next step, and so on and so forth, right? Then you got to figure out who is your customer. Who is your perfect customer? And this is how you do it. You figure out what is the age of my perfect customer. Are they male or are they female? Where do they live? What profession are they in? What interests do they have? Now I'm gonna show you the next slide, but I'm not going to go through it because you can take a screenshot, you can take a picture, but also remember that we are recording this, and we'll send you the recording so you can get the additional criteria as well. All right. So look at the things. You have to list out all of these criteria and build your perfect client, because you want to build your perfect client because you're going to tailor your message to your perfect client. Because if, let's say, your perfect client is, for example, a 25-year-old single male, would you talk to that 25-year-old single male the same way that you would talk to a 50-year-old female married? Different, because everybody wants different things. So I'm not saying you only have one perfect client. What you do is you categorize your clients, okay? The 20 to 25, for example, the 25 to 30, and so on and so forth. So you have to build these things about your client, because when you run your ads and you run your posts, you're talking to that particular perfect client. I hope that makes sense. Yes, raise your hand if it makes sense. Yes, okay, awesome. Now, the two kinds of traffic is paid and organic. Now, we use a combination of both, and you should as well, because you never want to get forget about organic Organic is the post that you do. Now, the next question is, how often should you post? You should post minimum on your Facebook, your LinkedIn. Of course, whatever you post on your Facebook, you can put that on Instagram as well, unless it's a video, and the video on Instagram has to be 60 seconds or less, right? You have to do these things, okay? Because the organic will draw people in, and the paid traffic is the specific targets that you want to hit. Now, you want to have the right message. Every post that you do, every interaction, or every thing that you put out on social media, you need to have three components. You have to have a headline. The headline can be calling out the exact person that you want to talk to. It can be 7 tips to be more productive. That's a headline. Do you want to know the top 7 secrets to becoming more productive? That's a headline. The headline is designed to capture the eyes and capture the attention. Then you have the copywriting. The copywriting is the message and what you write in the message. And of course, you have to put persuasion in. Now, how do you be persuasive? You be persuasive by doing 2 things. I'll tell you the first one. The first way to be persuasive is that you list out the benefits that your customer or your prospect is going to get by knowing you and getting your product or service. Because nobody buys because, oh, this thing has a 6-inch screen. Okay, it has a 6-inch screen, yes, but what is the benefit to me? So I'll ask you this question. How do people make decisions? Do they use emotion or do they use logic? Emotion or logic? How many of you think that people use logic when they make decisions? Anybody? Okay. How many of you think that people use emotion when they make decisions? Wow, this is a smart group of people today. You're right. People do use emotion. People do use emotion when they make their decisions 80 to 90% of the time. But here's another part. They use emotion and they justify it with logic. Okay? So in your copywriting, in your ads, in your marketing, you have to list out the emotions, the benefits to them, and you have to give them a reason to justify their decision. You cannot say, let's say selling a car, let's say selling a luxury car. Is there any logical reason why somebody should buy a $500,000 car versus a $20,000 car? Is there any logical reason? Not really, right? A car has 4 wheels, car has engine, it gets you from point A to point B. Why do they buy a $500,000 car? Because they want to feel good about themselves. They want to show that they have success, they have arrived, the pride, make other people jealous. Then you use the logic to say that, oh, you know, this $500,000 car is a lot safer, you know, it saves gas, it's more economical, I'm more comfortable in it. Okay, so you hit them on the emotion and you use logic to help them justify the emotion. Gentlemen on the session right now, if you're married, okay, you've ever heard your partner or your wife or your girlfriend ever say this after they come back from a shopping trip? They carry the bags in, right? And then you're going, oh no, they spent so much. And then they show you what they bought, and then don't ever say this to them, yeah? Don't ever say it. You can think it, okay? You think, why did you buy that? It was unnecessary, right? Don't ever say it out, yeah? Just think it only, all right? So you look at the things that they buy, and then you're thinking, what do we need that? And then they don't say, oh, because you know it makes me feel good. I was excited. They don't say things like that, right? What they say was, the original price is $500. It was on sale for $150. We're saving $200 or $300. So Did you buy it because you were saving 200 or 300, or you bought it because you really wanted it and it made you feel good? And then you use the "I saved 300, it's on sale" as the logic. Does that make sense? Yes? Raise your hand if it makes sense. Donna is like smiling from ear to ear. Okay. All right. So then you have to have an offer, because um, your offer must be compelling and irresistible. It must be compelling because it has to be persuasive, irresistible because you have to tell them these are all the benefits you're getting. It's almost like you got to instill the feeling to your prospect that I must have this. I gotta have it. You've ever bought something or many things from someone where you didn't want to show your emotion, like you really wanted it, but inside you were saying to yourself, I really want this, I need it. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, now I'm not going to go through each one. You can watch the recording on this, but these are the emotions that generally people use to I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. These are the emotions that you need to hit in your product and service. I don't care if you sell an engineering thing or a software or whatever you sell. Every single product and service ever created and being sold right now, in the past and in the future, you have to hit at least one or two of what you see in your screen. Okay? Then how do you convert? Okay, you convert by keeping in touch, by following up, by nurturing the relationship, and all of this leads to closing the deal. Now, it's very important to follow up. It's very important to follow up because we, as human beings, we tend to be forgetful by nature, right? And as a business owner, entrepreneur, or sales professional, it's your job to follow up. Now, I came across these stats, from of course, this study was done in the US. On average, it takes 8 to 12 touches. And a touch can be a phone call, a SMS, a WhatsApp message, an email, or they see you on social media. It takes an average of 8 to 12 touches to close a deal. Now, in the US, the study said 22 days for, of course, not buying soap or coffee, yeah, but something a bit more substantial than that, the product or service. It takes an average, and of course, some faster, some slower. It takes an average of 22 days to make a decision, and it takes 32 touch points. Most salespeople, business owners, entrepreneurs never make it past the second or third or fourth keeping in touch with your prospect. And if you're able to do it, if you're able to follow up and touch your prospect consistently, this is gold. I'm telling you, it's gold. Think of all the prospects that you've talked to over the years, whether you're in business 1 year, whatever it is. Think of all the prospects that you talked to, okay? And then you talked to them once or twice and then you gave up. All right? All those are missed sales. Or have you ever had this situation? You talked to somebody, they said, not yet. Then you forgot about them. You forgot about them for, 3 months or 5 months or 6 months. And then the card comes across your desk, right? And then you go, oh, maybe I'll give John a call. Maybe I'll give John a call, see whether he's ready to buy. So you call John, right? Say, hey, John, this is Chris from XYZ company. We were talking about buying this, like a few months ago. And the worst thing you can hear is, oh, I already bought from that company. I already bought from this person. Okay. That was gold. That was gold that you lost. Okay. Oh, I'm going to send you the recording in the next 24 hours. All right. I'll send you the recording in the next 24 hours. And I'll give you, I'll put in the email some tools that I sent you. I'll put in some tools that will help you in your follow-up. Is that okay? Yes? Yeah? Okay. Now, these are the just components that you need to be aware of. Now, I'm going to talk to you about a video sales letter. All right. A video sales letter is simply uh, a video that you can put on YouTube, that you can put on Facebook. But you see, we don't just put videos for the sake of putting videos. We need to get a benefit out of it, right? So a sales letter, that we write, it can be a flyer or a brochure or an email. But our attention spans are so short now. People like to watch videos, right? Do you all agree? Yes, people love to watch videos. Okay, so when you do a video, there's a structure behind it. Okay, so I'll go through quickly on the components of the video sales letter. So this is the structure. You give the headline theme of your video. This headline theme is designed to attract the ears and the eyes of someone scrolling on Facebook, and they go, hey, yes, I do want to know the top 7 productivity secrets. Okay. Then you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them in the video. Okay. You don't introduce yourself. Not yet. People don't care who you are. They care more about the benefit they're going to get. Okay. So, hey, would you like to know the top 7 secrets of being productive? Then you say, you tell them what you're going to tell them in the video. It's like, I'm going to share with you 3 techniques, strategies that you can use to be more productive. My name is Chris. I'm this, is this. Introduce yourself. Then you ask them 2 questions. This is where interaction comes in. You ask them 2 questions to make them curious and to answer the question. For example, have you ever thought about how your life would be if you were able to be more productive during your workday and your family time? And then they go, yeah, I would like to know, right? Then the next part, you answer the question for them. Okay, very simple to answer. Very simple to answer. This is how you answer, okay? You ask the question, how would you like to be more productive and get 10 hours of production in an 8-hour workday? See, some of you are nodding yes. I can see nodding yes, right? But you answer the question and you go, of course you would, right? So you answer the question for them. Then you go, I want you to imagine this. Now, remember we talk about benefits, right? You have to list out your benefits. So you want to list out benefit 1, benefit 2. So I want you to imagine this. If you were able to get benefit 1 and benefit 2, would you want to do this? And then you tell a story, a very quick story of how somebody you helped was able to achieve benefit 1, benefit 2. Now, up to this point, I've probably shared about 10 or 12 stories driving home the points that I've been making. All right. So you want to tell a story how somebody like them managed to achieve benefit 1, benefit 2. Then you drive it home. Would you like the same results? And then you go, of course you want. Of course you do. Of course you want the same results. Right? Then we call it an anchor point. The anchor point is maybe they're thinking yes, this much, they're thinking yes. All right. You drive it home and you extend it out. If you're even thinking yes, just even a little bit, this is what you need to do. Step 1, decide you want benefit 1 and benefit 2. Step 2, click on this link. Send me your name, your email, your phone number. Step 3, we'll have a conversation on how we can make it happen for you. Then you drive it home. You drive it home with the benefit. If you want benefit 1 and benefit 2, take action now. I promise I won't let you down. And that's the structure of a video sales letter. Okay. Now, that was I took a few minutes to explain, right? So how do you see, if you write all this down, then you got to memorize it, right? Because then you got to memorize it, then you got to take the video. And how many of you say, oh, that's too much work? That is a lot of work, isn't it? Okay. Then how many videos can you do? I'm gonna share this with you. There's an app called Big View. Okay. It's a video app. Apple and Android. It's on all the app stores. Okay. It has a teleprompter. So what you do is you write your script, you put it into your phone, you put it into your phone. Big View is in your phone, and you just shoot like that. And your script is right on your phone. Let's see if I can pull one up. Let me see if I can pull one up for you. Just bear with me a sec, yeah? While we're doing that, the next part, I'm going to teach you how to make content, okay? Sorry, this phone was on flight mode, so I got to get it started. Okay, so we start the screen, all right? You know what? I'll let it load and then I'll come back to it. Okay. So how do we create content? We create content in video or posts or Instagram, whatever it is, right? These are the things that you tell. You tell your story. You tell your company story. This one is wonderful. You tell your client stories. You can tell your client stories. You can get testimonials. You can get written testimonials. You can get message testimonials. Let me see if this is ready yet. It's still loading. Okay. Okay. You tell your get testimonials from your clients. All right. They can be written. They can be by WhatsApp, SMS. You can tell your competition story, but don't mention what the company is. Just talk about your advantages. Then we have something called a swipe file. I'll show you what that is in a minute. Okay, so now if you can see, maybe it's not so clear, okay? But I've got a couple projects in there. So what I do is I load the script, okay? So let's take a look at one. The script is loaded in. The script is loaded in, and then when you want to, let me change that. When you want to take your video, all you got to do is that, all right? Because your script is right there. Does that make sense? And then all you got to do is read your script, and it's taking the video of you at the same time. That's all you have to do. And so what that does is you don't have to memorize the script. You don't have to print it on a sheet of paper, put it on the wall, and then it looks like you're reading, but the camera is here and you're reading there, okay? But you're looking at the camera and you're reading right into the camera. And that's how powerful that app is. And you know how much that app is? It's so expensive if you don't get it because it's free. Okay, so get content. You get content by going to your competitors' pages. You go to your competitors' pages and you can get content. Don't steal the content. Look at that content and then change it for yourself. Yan, you can go to other Facebook pages. You can do a search, yeah, for other walking tours and pull and get ideas from there. All right. Then you have what I call the swipe file. You build your swipe file. A swipe file means a bank where you put content in from your competitors. You put content in from similar for similar customers, and then you use that. You bookmark it in your browser, and you use it as a way to help you create content. Because content is one of the hardest things to do, to create from zero. I'm not asking you to steal and copy. What I'm asking you is to go look at what they're doing and get inspiration from that. All right? These are a couple landing pages. I'll send you a link on my suggestion on a landing page service that you should use. Okay, the link that I'll send to you has a 30-day free trial, and it's roughly about 12 to 13 USD per month. After that, if you choose to continue using it. Now, the 12 or 13 USD per month, for some of us, it might sound expensive. I discovered this landing page company about 1 year plus ago. Previously, I was using another very similar landing page company. It's called Infusionsoft, and I was paying about 299 USD per month. I've been paying that company 299 USD per month for 11 years. Okay, that's how valuable this service is. And then I found this one. I actually knew about this company like 8 or 9 years ago, but they added so many features and so many services on it. I'll share the link with you in the email. I'll send it out to you, and it's about 12 or 13 USD a month. It's worth every penny. Okay, so these are some of the simple landing pages that we've done. Okay, I think some of you have seen. Hold on, let me go back one. Okay, these are some of the simple landing pages. The landing page on the right, I think some of you have seen that already, right? Very simple. Hey, free gifts, give me your name, email, and phone number. That's it. Now, I will not go through each line here, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to look at these criteria. KISS. Anybody knows what that KISS stands for? It stands for keep it simple, stupid. Clean and simple is so much better than complicated, because simple, yeah, you can create a landing page. I showed the participants in the training that we did the last few days. We created a landing page from zero. I think Jan, you were there, right? I think we took about 10 minutes to create a landing page, right? Right? 10 minutes. Okay, keeping it simple. All right. I'll show you which platform to get. Use my link. It's a 30-day free trial. All right. Now, I'll also give you the gifts. I think most of you have gotten the gifts already. But here's what I want to share with you. Okay. Sometimes it's difficult to get started because there's so much information that we have, and then we don't know how we're going to start or where we're going to start. So I have two things to offer you. Is it okay if I share two things that may help you out? Is it okay? Thumbs up if it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So the first offer is I call it the Done For You Facebook campaign. It sounds simple, but we actually do a whole bunch of things. We prepare your post for 30 days. We prepare your landing page. We prepare your email responder. I'll send you information on that. It's a service that we used to charge 1,005 USD. Okay, because of pandemic, we've cut that to about 30%. But I'll send the information to you. I'm not saying that you have to do it. What I'm saying is that I'm just presenting an offer to you. Now, if you want to do it yourself, I have a set of digital marketing ebooks. I think it's like $9.99 or 12 USD, but it's like 400 pages, and it tells you how to do your YouTube, how to do your LinkedIn, how to do the Facebook, how to do the Instagram, how to write your emails, how to do the autoresponder. It's so complete if you want to do it yourself. All right, and I'll send the information out to that as well. We can skip this one. Oh, let me see here. Okay, let me skip here. Okay, now these are some of our clients that use some of the things that we've done, this year. If you look at the bottom right screen, this sales professional in real estate in the Philippines, having an extremely hard time using the resources that I just mentioned. They were like almost immediately they were able to close one deal, and they closed more since then. Okay, and that one deal paid him, if I recall correctly, does it say that one deal paid him about 4,000 USD? One deal. Okay, and of course he's done more since then. And this was in June this year, right in the middle of pandemic. All right. Here's what I want to do next. I've come to the end of my information sharing. We can do a Q&A right now. If you have questions, there's a couple things you can do. Let me get off the stop share. Okay, there's a couple things you can do. You can type your question in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Lance, did you have a question?
I'm thinking of one actually.
Okay, awesome. You have a question right on the tip of your tongue, is that right?
Yeah, but I can't put it into words. That's my problem right now.
That's okay. Let's talk through it. Just tell me what's on your mind. I've probably heard any question that y'all gonna ask. I've already probably heard it. So if you start it off, I can maybe help you with developing the question, because sometimes developing the question is really hard, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
If you want, you can come back in a minute. Or you everybody has my WhatsApp, correct? My WhatsApp number, yes? Lance, you should have it, because if you get my emails, the number will be there.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can ask your question here. You can ask me the question by email. You can send me a WhatsApp. Okay? Daniel, I think you're the only one that has messaged me so far in this group. I think I answer very, very quickly. Correct? Yeah? Okay. Lance, did you get your question yet, or you want to send me an email or WhatsApp?
I think it'd be best if I emailed you about it, so it would be more clear. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anybody have any other questions? Danielle, if you're there, can you put your video on? I'd like to take a screenshot and then for remembrance. Oh, you're in Australia today. Awesome. No, I'm just kidding, Danielle. Okay, so so the question from Zam. Zam is video calling or telephone calling more effective? Definitely, Zam. Because when we have conversations in chat, right, with friends and family and co-workers, and then have you ever experienced like, hey Chris, why did you say that to me on the chat? Right? And then it's like, no, I didn't mean that. So it's a one dimension type of communication. And then the other party, when you ask a question, it might be interpreted the wrong way. And then what if they don't respond right away? You see, in chat, yeah, there's no formality that you must answer in 30 seconds or 1 day or 1 week. Of course, 1 week is way too unreasonable, right? But in a video call, if I ask a question, do you all agree that you have to answer the question? Raise your hand if you agree. See, the feedback is immediate. if I type to you, Donna, if I ask you a question, do you think you should answer? And then Donna will, I'm not saying you are, yeah, Donna, I'm just giving an example. And then Donna answers in 1 day or 2 days. You lose the immediacy of the conversation. Now, if you don't have a phone number or they don't want to go on video call, the chat is better than nothing. It's better than nothing. All right. What you should do when you chat, you should actually list out all your responses into a document. Okay. Thank you for saying that, Donna. Yeah. But that was just meant for me, right? Or for everybody? What you typed in. Is it everybody?
It's for you actually.
Okay. Okay, so I won't repeat, but she said some nice things. And let's see, where was I? Okay, so you have what we call scripts. Like someone asks a question. This is what we normally do, right? Let's say we're driving, we're outside the office, and then, oh, somebody asks a question, and then you type the answer correct, right? And then, oh, I misspelled it, I didn't say this. What you do is you prepare all the questions, that you ever get, and then you prepare the answers. And then you store them in your phone, you store them in your computer, your laptop, whatever it is, so that when you chat with them, you can answer, you can just copy and paste. You don't need to keep typing nonstop. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, makes sense? Okay. Let me take a screenshot. I think we lost, who did we lose? Yeah. We lost Daniel. I think he got his internet, whatever it was. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take 3 pictures. One right now, everybody smiling. Lance, if you can, if possible, to show your video. If not, that's okay. 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 On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's try one where everybody looks happy, not like the first picture where everybody looks sad. Okay. On the count of 3, thumbs up. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, got it. Okay, so I will stop the Facebook stream first. Okay, and I will stop the recording now.